In 2017, a Chinese MMA fighter named Xiaodong exposed a global crisis. Traditional martial arts masters, claiming combat mastery, were demolished in seconds. This video explains what that means for your training. Xiaodong issued challenges to self-proclaimed masters of traditional Chinese martial arts. He fought them under minimal rules. The results were brutal. A Tai Chi master fell in under 10 seconds, a Yiquan master in under a minute. These were not fights, they were executions. Zhu applied basic MMA mechanics, closing distance behind a jab, securing a clinch, and using ground and pound. His opponents had never faced unscripted resistance. They relied on mystical theories of energy redirection and compliant drills. The myth shattered on contact. The Chinese establishment vilified Zhu, but his point stood. The institution could not withstand a single empirical test. This is your first lesson. Your training must survive contact with reality. The core revelation is the distinction between two pursuits conflated under martial arts. First, cultural or performance martial arts. Their purpose is cultural preservation, artistic expression, or physical health. They teach choreographed forms against imaginary opponents. Sparring, if it exists, is highly restricted and point-based. Pressure testing is absent. Second, reality-based combat systems. Their purpose is to develop skills for violent confrontation. Training requires live resistance. You drill techniques, but you must pressure test them through sparring. A technique's value is determined by whether it works on a resisting opponent. When Zhu, a product of the second paradigm, confronted representatives of the first, the mismatch was epistemological. One system believed in unseen energy, the other believed in physics and physiology. The scale of this divergence has real costs. You invest years practicing intricate forms and compliant self-defense sequences. Zhu's fights demonstrated that this investment often yields near-zero combat competency. The skills do not transfer under adrenal stress. For fighting purposes, it is specialized aerobic exercise. The financial drain is also significant. You pay for uniforms, testing fees, seminar tickets, and lineage authentication. This is a multi-billion-dollar global industry built on promise, not proof. You must ask, what are you paying for? Are you paying for a skill that works, or for the prestige of association? The answer determines whether your training builds competence or just consumes resources. Zhu's success came from fundamental mechanics. He closed distance behind a jab. This is not mystical, it is physics. You extend your lead hand to measure range and disrupt your opponent's vision. Then you step in, secure a clinch, and control the body. The clinch is a neutralizer. From there, you use ground and pound or takedowns. These mechanics are universal because they are based on human anatomy and physics. They work on anyone, regardless of style. You must drill these under resistance. Start with light sparring, close distance, secure the clinch, hold for 3 seconds. Then add strikes. Then add takedowns. This is how you build transferable skill. Zhu's opponents had never experienced unscripted resistance. They trained in compliant drills against choreographed attacks. This is not training, it is rehearsal. The only validator of combat skill is pressure testing. You must spar against a resisting opponent who tries to hit you. This creates an evolutionary feedback loop. Ineffective techniques are discarded. Effective techniques are refined. You learn to manage adrenal stress. You learn to think under pressure. Without this, your skills are hypothetical. You must schedule regular sparring sessions. Start with technical sparring at 50% intensity. Increase as you build competence. This is non-negotiable. The Xiaodong incident is not about one man's quest. It is a warning. Your training must produce results that work on a resisting opponent. You must test your skills regularly. You must discard techniques that fail under pressure. This is the discipline of reality-based combat. You train to develop reliable skills, not to preserve tradition. You train to be competent, not to be a performer. The dojo must be a crucible, not a sanctuary. If your training cannot survive contact with reality, it is not combat training. It is something else. You must choose what you are doing. Test your skills under resistance. If they fail, discard them. Train what works. That is the only path to real competence.